Welcome back to the channel. Continuing from the last vlog, I had just arrived here at the Stupas, walking down a distance of around 1 kilometer from the Sanchi railway station. So in this vlog, I'll be trying to understand the history of Stupas, the purpose they were made for, and the most important question that was in my mind from my childhood: what's inside them? I will be taking the help of ASI booklet on Sachi Stupas that I had purchased later on. So without wasting any time, let's quickly get into it. It starts with giving the information about the zones that the Sachi monuments have been divided into, which are main terrace, eastern area, southern area, western slope, where Stupa 2 lies. Right now, I am at main terrace and had started with Stupa 3 because Stupa 1 was little occupied at that time and would have been difficult for me to film it, hence Stupa 3. Stupa 1 was the first stupa to be built in the 3rd century BC during Mauryan Empire, but coming on to that later, Stupa 3 on the other hand was built a century later in the 2nd century BC in Shunga's period, with stairways and balustrade around. Gateways with carvings were added later on during Satvahana's rule around 1st century ADE. This was my first time to any Buddhist place of worship and didn't know what to expect and how to behave. I was literally trying to find a way inside the stupa but didn't find one. Later on, seeing some of the stupas with partial remains, I got to know that stupas don't have open space inside them but are solid. It came as a surprise to me when I saw these many stupas in so many different sizes just lying around in so close proximity. I wonder how would it be here almost 2000 years back when these monasteries were still inhabited by the Buddhist monks. Chapter 1 from the book is about general information where it highlights the location of Sachi and of the monuments within Sachi. Opening hours and accommodations available are some other stated facts. Eastern area and main terrace are separated by retaining wall which was built around 10th century AD to hold on the debris accumulation which created an artificial terrace in the eastern area. Moving on to our next chapter. Chapter 2 is about history. First paragraph of this chapter tells that Sanchi monuments showcases the origin, growth and decay of the Buddhist art and architecture from 3rd century BC to 12th century AD, almost covering the whole range of Indian Buddhism. Sanchi has not been marked by Buddha's life. That means Buddha never came to Sanchi, and even famous Chinese travelers to India have not mentioned about Sanchi in their books. The only mention comes in Chronicles of Sri Lanka, in which Prince Mahendra, son of King Ashoka, had visited Sanchi monastery to see his mother before setting off to Sri Lanka. Temple 40 marks the start of the southern area, which includes numerous monasteries and temples. Temple 40 is one such temple built in Mauryan era, which was completely burned down in the 2nd century BC. Second paragraph talks about the foundation of Sanchi as the religious establishment by Mauryan king Ashoka when he became a follower of Buddha after Kalinga war. In between 273 BC to 236 BC. The purpose of stupas was to preserve the earthly remains of the Buddha and his associates, and later on, sacred texts and things were preserved. Being located on the confluence of two rivers, River Base and River Betwa, and also on the trade route, Sanchi monasteries flourished even when the Mauryan Empire was a thing of past. Continuing with the third paragraph, it starts with saying that after Mauryan Empire, Buddhism at Sanchi was pretty much stagnant, or we can say it remained intact in times of Shunga, Satavahanas, and Shatapras. But reading from other sources says different. In case of Shungas, especially about the founder of Shunga dynasty Pushyamitra, who actually destroyed many stupas and killed many monks. Gupta Empire and later on under Harshvardhana of Pushyabhuti dynasty brought a fresh lease of life at Sanchi. Stupas were given more protection by building balustrade around them and numerous Buddha temples were built. Buddhist monasteries, also known as viharas, were built as a rest place for wandering monks, but were gradually developed into centers of learning, where philosophical principles were developed and debated. During the reign of later Hindu kingdoms from 7th century AD to 10th century AD, the ruling dynasties of the region were Pratiharas and later on Parmaras. Sanchi hardly got affected by these dynasties. This was around 10th century to 13th century AD when the place was deserted and was unnoticed until in the year 1818 when General Taylor of East India Company brought it to the public attention, discovering the ruins of Stupa 1. Third chapter tells us how Britishers excavated the place to find more stupas and were curious to find what was inside them. And in that process, one of the gateways of the stupa 1 got damaged. Nature and localites were also involved in some kind of damage to the stupas. For example, pillar shafts were taken down and were used to extract sugarcane juice. Repairing of the stupas were done only after 1881. And with that, I'll end this vlog here and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.